Your heart is pounding. Nothing is chasing you. You're just standing in line at the grocery store, and your phone buzzed with a text from your boss. But the real answer for why your chest just tightened is far stranger than stress. It has almost nothing to do with your boss, and almost everything to do with a lion that hasn't existed in your world for 10,000 years. You carry an alarm system inside you. It was built for a world that no longer exists. And it doesn't know the difference between a predator in the grass and a red notification icon. Let's go back 200,000 years ago. You are walking across an open plain. The grass moves. You don't wait to find out why. Your body has already decided. Your heart rate spikes. Your muscles fill with blood. Your senses sharpen into a kind of tunnel. You are already running before your conscious mind has finished asking the question. This is not a flaw. This is the single most important survival tool your ancestors ever had. The neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux spent decades mapping exactly how this happens inside the brain. He found that a sound or a shape doesn't have to pass through your thinking mind before your body reacts. It travels a shortcut straight to a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. That structure can trigger fear in a matter of milliseconds. Faster than you can form the thought, "What was that?" Faster than language, faster than memory. Think about what that means. You were built to react before you understand. Understanding came later, survival came first. For almost the entire span of human existence, that order made sense. The cost of pausing to think was death. The cost of overreacting was a few wasted seconds of adrenaline. So evolution made a trade. It decided that 1,000 false alarms were a fair price for avoiding even one real one. The evolutionary psychiatrist Randolph Nesse has a name for this trade. He calls it the smoke detector principle. A smoke detector that never misses a real fire will also scream at burnt toast. It is built that way on purpose. Being annoying is cheap. Being wrong about a fire is not. Your brain runs on the exact same logic. It would rather flood you with anxiety 1,000 times for nothing than miss the one moment a predator is actually crouched in the grass. So here's the question. What happens when you take that ancient smoke detector and you move it into a world with no lions? You already know the answer because you live inside it. The notification on your phone. The unread email from someone whose tone you can't read. The silence after you send a message and nobody responds. None of these are lions. None of them can kill you, but your amygdala doesn't read the content. It just reads the signal. Sudden, uncertain, possibly threatening. And it fires exactly the same ancient circuit, full volume every time. Your body floods with cortisol. Your muscles tense as if you're about to run. Your attention narrows the way it would if something were actually stalking you in the grass. And then nothing happens. There is no chase. There is no resolution. The alarm has nowhere to go. This is the strange part. Your ancestors' fear had an ending. They ran, or they fought, or the danger passed, and their body returned to calm. Your fear, today, often has no ending at all. The biologist Robert Sapolsky studies this difference closely. He compares it to zebras on the savannah. A zebra's stress response is intense but brief. The lion appears, the zebra runs, and within minutes, its body is back to grazing, as if nothing happened. Sapolsky's point is that humans are nearly unique among animals in our ability to turn on that same stress response just by thinking about something. We can be chased by a memory. We can be chased by a thought about tomorrow. We can be chased by nothing at all. And our body cannot tell the difference. You don't even need a real threat anymore. You only need the idea of one. That's worth sitting with for a second. You can lie awake at 3 in the morning, completely safe, doors locked, nothing moving in the dark, and your heart will race as if a predator just stepped into the room. Your ancient alarm system fires for an email. It fires for a glance someone gave you that you can't quite read. It fires for silence because silence used to mean something in the grass was watching and waiting. So why hasn't this system updated? Why are you still running software built for a world that hasn't existed for thousands of generations? Because evolution doesn't optimize for comfort. It optimizes for survival long enough to reproduce. A brain that occasionally overreacts to harmless things still survives just fine. A brain that occasionally underreacts to a real predator does not get a second chance to pass on its genes. Across millions of small chances like that, only the twitchy, anxious, overly cautious brains made it all the way down to you. You are, quite literally, descended from the worriers. The calm ones who didn't flinch at the rustling grass were the ones who sometimes didn't make it home. There's a twist hiding inside that, though. The very same wiring that makes modern life feel exhausting is also the reason you're alive to feel exhausted by it. You inherited a hair-trigger nervous system because it kept your ancestors breathing. The price of that inheritance is a body that sometimes panics over nothing. And here's the part that might be the strangest of all. This ancient alarm system doesn't just protect you from danger, it also shapes what you pay attention to in the first place. Researchers studying attention have found that human eyes and ears are tuned to detect sudden movement, sharp sound, and unexpected change far more than they're tuned to notice anything calm or constant. A snake-shaped object in tall grass jumps out at your vision almost instantly, even before you consciously register what you saw. That same wiring is exactly why a sudden buzz from your pocket can hijack your attention faster than almost anything else around you. Your phone isn't manipulating some new weakness in you. It's pulling a very old lever, one that was built into you long before phones, long before grocery stores, long before grass that grows on lawns instead of plains. So what do you do with an alarm system this old? Living inside a world this new? You can't switch it off. It isn't a setting. It's the architecture. But you can start to recognize it for what it is. In the moment it fires. That tightening in your chest when your phone buzzes isn't always information about the world. Sometimes it's just an ancient circuit, doing exactly what it was built to do, reacting to a shape in the grass that this time isn't actually there. Maybe that's the real shift. Not learning to stop feeling afraid, but learning to ask. In that very first second, whether what you're feeling is actually about a lion or just about the rustle. Because the rustle isn't always nothing. But more often than you'd think in this particular world, it is. Your heart is pounding again right now, maybe, just from reading this. Nothing is chasing you. Nothing ever really was. And somewhere underneath all of it, your ancestors are still walking across that open plain, still listening for the grass to move, still keeping you alive the only way they ever knew how,